hello and welcome to Frontier. Opening bell is Thursday, the 21st of October, and I am Bourse. Great to have you on the show today. Look at the Wednesday trading day, a bit mixed for the Frontier African market. 5 exchanges. We covered the EGX was down 56 basis points despite a very huge trading day. More than $200 million on the Egyptian market on the back of the e-finance IPO. The Nairobi market fell 1.13%, very sharply down. Nigerian market moved up very strongly on the back of FBNHoldings, which accounted for the chunk of yesterday's trading day. About 5 billion naira in net transaction value. Volume about $500 million ordinary shares. Then you've got the BRVM better by 73 basis points, and the GSE eked out about 20 basis points. Let's look through the East African markets, by the way, because the higher crude prices is pushing up the airfares, and that may double up according to the International Air Transport Body. Kenya and Uganda is looking at November as a date to have a meeting over the country's trade dispute on exports and imports of sugar and milk. And investors in Kenya say they've lent about 3 billion shillings to more than 50,000 small-scale farmers. Kenya is looking to get some loans from the World Bank to support its COVID-19 pandemic virus vaccine. Now, that money looks to be hanging in the balance because the conditions being prescribed by World Bank is being re-examined by the authorities in Nairobi. And the new administration of President Suluhu in Tanzania is moving apace and is now working with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, and Algeria, with the country's oil industry, the Tanzanian Oil Ministry, and other relevant agencies to get Tanzania's oil and gas industry up to speed. Let me take you through the West African market very quickly. Good news yesterday for Nigeria, as MFS Africa says it's made its second acquisition in Nigeria and is waiting for approval by the Central Bank of Nigeria to buy one of the country's leading agent network, Baxi. Baxi was created by 2 Nigerians just in 2014 as one of the agents network, and so far the company says it's processed about $1 billion since 2021 started. And good news for Multichoice Nigeria, as sources say, a tax tribunal in Nigeria has cleared the way for Multichoice Nigeria to appeal the $4.4 billion tax charge brought against the pay TV headquartered in South Africa by Nigeria's Federal Inland Revenue Service. Now, the news was that Multichoice Nigeria paid roughly 8 billion naira in deposit and now can appeal the bigger chunk of that charge of $4.4 billion. On Wednesday, Vetiva Capital Management, one of Nigeria's investment banking and securities trading group, announces initiation of coverage of Fidelity Bank, a Tier 2 lender, saying the lender has a very robust balance sheet and the outlook looks very good. So it's just a buy recommendation, publishing an investment note on Wednesday, and the target price is $3.57 on the NGX. And Accra is set to host on October the 25th the first edition of the FBNHoldings Africa Globalized Investment Forum. Come with me to Southern Africa, where South Africa is looking at the cost of the July riots. Pick n Pay says the company lost nearly 1 billion rand due to that violence and looting and arson that happened on the back of the sentencing of former President Jacob Zuma to prison. But the bigger news within the Southern African space is Zimbabwe, whose currency, the Zimbabwean dollar, is sinking. Now the authorities are moving against anyone and every institution that could be doing anything, according to the authorities, to malpractices in the FX markets. Now, marketwatch.co.zw was taken off the line because the company was displaying black market FX rates. Econet, the country's largest telco, is also at loggerheads with the authorities regarding the services which the authority says is responsible for part of illegal FX trading and malpractices, arbitrage, and what have you. South Africa's inflation is coming through for the month of September at 5% against 4.9% earlier. Folks are betting that inflation has come to stay and will likely continue to trend higher in Africa's most industrialized and advanced economy. And Zimbabwe says its power utility, the new coal-fired power utility will be ready by 2022. That is the news. Zimbabwe is moving ahead, as well as a number of African countries, including in Southern Africa, South Africa itself, talking about the energy transition story ahead of COP26, whether Africa will be able to meet up with the requirements by the developed countries asking for an end to coal-fired energy sources in Africa and elsewhere around the world. On a final note is North Africa, where the Egyptian market yesterday saw a very big trading on e-finance after it concluded its IPO, which was overbought, by the way, nearly 62 times, with the largest in the Egyptian market history. In the meantime, ILA is a startup and says it secured $2 million in fresh funding to expand its operations in Egypt into the value chain of fast-moving consumer goods. And good news yesterday, of course, a bit of a reprieve, as major banks were pricing the Egyptian Egyptian pound higher yesterday against the US dollar. Exchange rate stabilized around 15.64 on Wednesday after some of the holidays we saw within that region. Egypt is also going to be the host for the European Union and the AfDB's first joint investment forum. That will be on October the 27th. Keep an eye on that next week. The IMF says he's been in contact with the authorities in Tunis after a new administration or a new government was formed last week, October the 11th. Now, the IMF wants to move very quickly to have discussions with the new government and see how quickly the IMF and Tunisia can come to the table and agree to work some of the facilities that the country has, and how quickly to be able to get further funding facilities. And that's about it for this morning on Frontier Opening Bell. I am Wilson Namafai. Have a great trading day, and I'll see you next time.